The NFL will hate what the New England Patriots are about to do, as not only is New England 11-2, not only are the Patriots able to take home the AFC East crown, but they are about to get even healthier. We talk about the latest Patriots news, rumors, and reports right here, right now on Patriots Digest. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews, and I appreciate you hanging out with me and tuning in to today's show. Got lots and lots of stuff after a big win on Monday Night Football. The Patriots now head into their bye week, and well, it's a very good time for that. But let's start first with the main reports from today, and that all is coming from Mike Vrabel's press conference, in which he had this early morning. Now, one thing you will notice, now this is not an up-to-date picture, I will say that, because yesterday, Mike Vrabel looked like this. You notice something, maybe a little something on his face, and that something is now gone. It is now no longer Mustache November, Movember as he liked to call it. He has officially shaved his mustache. That's obviously just a fun little report there. But in terms of looking at this team and what they can be getting done over the bye week, we did get a couple updates from Mike Vrabel regarding injuries, injury statuses, and the potential of some people getting back and getting healthy during this bye week. But one thing I do want to start with and note is talking about the Patriots' next upcoming game. As you can see here, the Patriots and Bills game on Sunday, December 14th is going to remain a 1 p.m. affair. Now, there was a lot of talk that because of the implications of this game, and which we'll get into in just a moment, that it would be moved to at least the 3:25 slot, maybe not Sunday Night Football, but some sort of better slotting on TV. Unfortunately, though, that didn't happen, and the Patriots and Bills, in what is probably one of the biggest games of the year, will be playing at 1 o'clock and on the Pacific Coast, like 10 a.m., so whatever. But I don't know. This is the schedule for that Week 15. Personally, I think you could have easily moved a couple of these games, New Orleans and Carolina, San Francisco and Tennessee. But, not my choice, not my monkeys, whatever. You play at 1 o'clock, or in this purpose it says 12. But either way, you get in there, you win the game, and you could get some very cool things done. As we note here, because unfortunately/fortunately, however good the Patriots team is at 11-2, there is no way that they can clinch the playoff spot during their bye, since the first team out, the Houston Texans, still have just 5 losses, and they have the same conference record as the Patriots. However, as we go into the next report, the Patriots not only can clinch a playoff spot, they can clinch the AFC East with a win over the Bills in Week 15. Now, we had mentioned this yesterday on the show, but it's a very nice thing to see the Patriots being able to get to 11-2. As of right now, they have a 2.5 game lead on the Buffalo Bills. As we know, the Bills this upcoming week probably going to be a win. I think they're playing the Browns, so should be an easy win for them in theory. Either way, though, they can take on the Bills in that upcoming matchup. And if they win, not only would they have the 3-game lead with 3 games left, they would also have the tiebreaker because they beat the Bills back in the early part of the season, and then so sweeping them this year. And, you take back the crown of the AFC East, which I think a lot of us would like to do. However, it's obviously going to be a big game no matter what, but we do have to talk about the latest injury reports and some good news that we got from head coach Mike Vrabel. Here is the quote we're going to infer from Mike Vrabel said the Patriots, quote, should get some guys back, end quote, after the bye week. Now, the bye week is always such a big thing for the Patriots. It could not come at a better time in some aspects because, well, the injuries were starting to stack up. Will Campbell on IR. Jared Wilson, obviously, missing this past game with the ankle injury after getting injured in the Cincinnati game. You talk about Khyris Tonga missing this past game and the ability that he has been able to kind of been a versatile, almost want to say do it all Bob out there, as he's been a fullback, been a defensive lineman, obviously. And so would love to get some of these guys healthy in a couple of names we're going to kind of break down here. Now, I'm sure the biggest question you're asking is, well, what about Milton Williams? That's such a huge thing, because Milton Williams, who was probably the best signing until he got injured, got put on IR, and when can he officially return? Well, we have the report here from Mike Moratis of the Sporting News saying, quote, "At the conclusion of the Week 13 game between the Patriots and the Giants, Williams will have missed 2 games. When factoring in the bye week in Week 14, the earliest Williams can return is in Week 17 against the New York Jets," end quote. So unfortunately, as great as this bye week will be for some of the players on the New England Patriots, they will not be able to return maybe one of their best ones off of IR in Milton Williams. Same can be said for Will Campbell. Got placed on IR this past game, so he'll miss all the way up until about the playoffs time. The expectation, from my understanding, is that the Patriots can go out in 2 weeks and take on and beat the Buffalo Bills in Gillette Stadium, then I really doubt that Will Campbell or Milton Williams will return before week 18, just because they want to keep them as healthy as possible for the playoffs. Now, there is some other guys on injury news that we want to get to. Brendan Schooler was out last night, the Patriots special team savant. He hopefully should be able to get healthy. Initial reports are that he should be good to go, especially with the bye week and the extra days of rest. Jared Wilson with that ankle injury. The original report was that it was going to be a pretty substantial injury. However, now we have reports that it was actually a better injury than what the Patriots expected, and he could be back by this upcoming week, or I guess second week against the Buffalo Bills. Khyris Tonga was questionable up until about last night. Until Sunday. Actually, what was last? That was on Sunday. So, or Monday, excuse me. Either way, he was questionable for all of that, and ultimately he did not play. So that's something. And then, obviously, Terrell Jennings got injured in the game, and the hope is he can get some health back to his body as well. Now, there is a couple of other news that we got from Mike Vrabel's press conference that I do want to hit on, and specifically, it's the culture change and the mentality and kind of stuff we've broke down on this channel before, but just to continue to talk about why Mike Vrabel was the right hire, and in my opinion, I know that maybe it was supposed to be that way that they had Drake Maye, but if Mike Vrabel would have gone somewhere else in the year that the Patriots chose to hire Mayo, man, it would have been a bad thing, but we would have never known. Either way, here's what Mike Vrabel said about kind of going on by. He said, quote, "We're not done. We're not satisfied. Champions are never satisfied." Yes! Yes! This is what I want my head coach to say. Mike Vrabel asked this, and he also noted that teams are 16-12 when coming off the bye this season, which is honestly not as good as I thought. However, it obviously is in favor of the teams coming off the bye. And the Patriots, well, they could use that facing off against their AFC rival. One last thing I want to talk about today, it's an interesting one. We'll say this. So Christian Ellis last night put on a shellacking to none other than Jackson Dart. And of course, there's TikTok edits, there's Giants fans saying, "Oh, it's an illegal hit, he was doing." No. Playing football, and guess what? That is exactly what Mike Vrabel said. Mike Vrabel said this on the hit, quote, "There's nothing illegal about what he did. Nothing dirty. That's him playing football," end quote. And I will stop and I will give credit to Jackson Dart, because after the game, he did not say that was an illegal hit. He did not say that should have been a penalty. He said, and I quote, "That's how I play football. I'm going to take hits, whether I'm in the pocket or whether I'm running outside. I'm just going to do it. And people don't like that. That's okay, but that's just the way I play." So credit to him for not being the crybaby or anything like that. He acknowledged clean hit, all good. His offensive linemen were just a bunch of dopes and trying to protect their quarterback, and then instead got us 15 yards worth of penalties. So thanks, Giants. Appreciate y'all. But a really fun game last night. Excited to see the Patriots back in action against the Buffalo Bills. But I'm going to be watching this hit a lot during the bye week. Let's just say that. I'll be watching this hit a lot. So, especially for all the stuff I've heard from certain Giants fans about Jackson Dart being the next guy and the next Eli Manning. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure. Well, that's all I got for you here today on Patriots Digest. We appreciate you hanging out with us and tuning in to the show. We'll see you next time here on Patriots Digest. Peace out, guys.